When we study in school, we often just keep reading our notes and books, hoping to remember everything for a test. While we might remember the information for a little while, we often forget it soon after, even within days. Studies show that within 2 years of finishing school, we only remember about 3 weeks of what we learned in all those 12 years. This happens because most of the information we study goes into our medium-term memory. The key is to get this information into our long-term memory, where it can stay for a much longer time, and I will tell you exactly how to do it. Have you ever read a page and then realized you can't remember what you just read? This often happens because you didn't use your imagination while reading. For example, when you read a story, you usually imagine the scenes and characters like a movie in your mind. But with nonfiction books, it's harder to create these mental images. Repeating the information doesn't always help. Instead, you can use the C method, which stands for senses, exaggerate, and energize. Think about how something might look, taste, smell, or feel. For example, when you think of an apple, you imagine its color, taste, and smell. Make the image bigger or more unusual than it really is. Imagine an apple as big as a building. Make the image lively. The giant apple is dancing or laughing. For instance, to remember the capital of Australia, Canberra, picture a kangaroo eating berries. The silly image helps it stick in your mind. Now that you know how to imagine information like a movie, it's time to learn how to keep those images in your long-term memory. A good way to organize and remember information is by using a car method, in which you use your car as a long-term memory storage. Imagine using your car as a storage space for things you want to remember. For example, picture putting an apple in the front grille, a carrot on the hood, and bread on the windshield. Inside the car, imagine many fruit on the dashboard, sitting on berries, and throwing eggs at the passenger seat. In the back, think about scattering seeds and nuts. Put an orange on the roof and fish in the trunk. This makes it easier to remember because it ties new memories to your familiar car. By organizing information in this creative way, you can remember it better and find it easier when you need it. I have a friend called Dan. He is a really cool and popular guy in my school. He is also liked by many girls and other students, and everyone wants to invite him to the party. So I got really curious about what makes him loved by so many people at school, so I asked him, "Dan, why are you so good with people, and all the people seem to like you, dude? How do you do it? If you have a secret, share with me." He replied, "It's simple. Try to remember people's names and call their names frequently. If you do this often, people will start to like you unconsciously." This is actually true. You see, our names are the uniqueness that differentiate us from other people. Names are the sweetest and most important sound in any language. Dale Carnegie. Speaking of memory, you or someone you know might be the type of person to admittedly say,
"I'm terrible with names."
We've all heard this excuse for why someone can't remember names, but you don't have to be that person anymore. The easiest method, 4 C's. First, concentrate. Really listen when someone introduces themselves. If their name isn't clear, ask them to repeat it or spell it out. This will also make you seem like you really care about them and makes them like you. Create. Turn the name into a picture in your mind. For example, imagine Kevin in a cave, linking Kevin to cave, in. Connect. Link the new name to something familiar. If you meet someone named Justin, think of a famous person like Justin Bieber. If Justin has a memorable feature, use that to help remember his name. Continuous use. Keep using the name to move it into your long-term memory. The more you use their names, the better you'll remember them. Easy and simple, isn't it? To really become great at remembering things, just learning techniques isn't enough. You need to practice them regularly. Say you start by focusing on one group of elements on the table each day. For example, on day 1, you concentrate on learning all about the alkali metals, lithium, sodium, potassium, etc. After you learn about them, rest 10 minutes and review again what you just studied. Try to remember their positions on the table and any special details about them. Keep reviewing the information at specific times. Look at your notes again 1 hour later. Review the alkali metals after 1 day, then 3 days later. This way you tell your brain that this periodic table is important and the brain will remember it all. Since our brain only keeps the important informations and throws out the unnecessary ones. Your grandchildren will also be amazed by how you could still remember the periodic table on the wheelchair. To be great at remembering things, focus on what you're learning, make it clear in your mind, connect it to what you know, and review it often. That's how you'll never forget anything. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope you like it, and I will see you in the next video.